How to go from 32 to 10% body fat in 20 weeks. Let's fucking go. This is another result that came in yesterday, another Gorilla Platoon transformation. We're going to explain the tactics, what we did to progress down to the goal, but most importantly, I'm going to give you the principles with a little different spin on it this time round. Normally I will go through, and if you're a returning viewer of the channel, you'll know I've done a video with each of the transformations. And a lot of the time, the starting point was never that they were an athlete in the beginning. It's that they have never really been in the best shape they ever have. This guy I know very well, and this guy I know used to be a killer. I'm going to speak about the backstory, but fell off, and then we had to get him back out. So we're going to look at it from a different view, and hopefully it'll be quite relatable to some of you, where you're like, I used to be a fucking killer. I used to have birds hanging off me all the time. Now I don't. Now my missus is even giving me a bit of disrespect. And I've lost who I am. This is going to be for you type of people. You motherfuckers that used to be killers and then you fell off for some whatever reason. We're going to pull you back out from hell and take you back to the killer that you are. Or if you're starting out from 32% body fat, then the principles will still need to be put into your head. Because to be honest, boys, I can give you the physique. You'll still fuck it up if you don't know how to keep it long term. And it's the same across everything. We could give you £1 million business to run every year. You'd fuck it up because you're not capable. Or you are and you do already have that. Fine. You understand what I'm saying. I could give you the 11 out of 10 girl. You'll fuck it up because you're not capable of retaining it long term. The point I'm making is, if you get something that you've never had before, but you didn't do the work to become the person you needed to do to get there, you'll fuck it up straight away. That's why motherfuckers that win the lottery, they lose it all because they're not capable of having that much money because they didn't become the person they needed to. And that's what this is all about. So my promise to you is by the end of this video, you will know how to go from 32 to 10% body fat. Let's dance. So the backstory to this. I know this guy very well. These photos were taken in 2020. I served with this guy in the British Army. This period of my life, and for him as well, we went through a 9-month course together where we would go from our normal units into what is known as the Army's Physical Training Corps. It's a select, small cohort of people, about 400 wide, where our goal is to essentially develop the British Army for physical training, for whatever the needs and the developments are. And we had to get selected, and then we go for a 9-month probationary period, and then come out the other side. And this is where the relationship was really bonded. And I looked up to this guy, and still always have ever since, very, very heavily, almost like an older brother to me, because this guy was an absolute killer. If you look at him now in this shape here, stacked, 6'2", looks like a nasty bastard. If you meet him midway through the night and you've upset him, you're going to have a real hard time of it. So with that, I always looked up to this guy. He had a can-do attitude to everything. Nothing was out of reach. This guy was the pinnacle of men. Very good role model, good solid father, children absolutely respected him, turned his children into athletes. He used to be an athlete, boxed at a good level, played professional football. This guy is someone you would really, really look up to. And I always had that regard for him. That said, life will happen and things can turn on a sixpence. And before you know it, you don't even recognize yourself anymore. But one thing I will say is, people don't wake up like this. You didn't go to bed looking like this and wake up looking like this. Let's be honest. So we must understand, how does this happen? How do we go from the top of the mountain down to the bottom? Because this is the thing, right? We can get in great shape, but it'd be a lot more painful than never getting in great shape if we got in great shape and we fucked it up and we lost it. What I was saying at the start of the video, if you fuck it up and you lose that, very, very painful. Very, very painful. In fact, more painful than than never having the thing in the first place. And I was chatting with another guy, another paratrooper, who had his dream job as serving in the paras, and then went to another job that was complete opposite, and it was not good for me. Did not like it. And I can really imagine that going from the top of the mountain down to the bottom is not something we want to do. We must avoid this. So how does this happen? Well, it starts with small little vices that you never cut out in the first place. You knew you should have, but because you didn't, those vices, they start to spread like a virus. So it may be snacking biscuits in a cupboard or whatever. It doesn't seem too bad because you burn a lot of energy in this, that, and the other. But 1 week, you're just not as active. You were busier at work, things needed to deal with, life happens, right? And before you know, that vice then became a takeaway. And then, cool, yeah, one takeaway, not so bad. But then it's you've doubled up the takeaway because you just can't be asked to cook. And before you know it, spirals out to where your output is less and your input is more, and before you know it, you've got too much adipose tissue. You have to have the self-awareness to understand that, oh fuck, I am not the person I used to be anymore. I cannot see my midsection. I am not as strong as I used to be. The women I date do not respect me. The quality is less. The income of women is less. Like how people then perceive me and respect me has gone down. You must check yourself and understand this. And the way I would frame this for you so this does not happen is, you must always understand that everybody's respect for you is fucking finite. It is almost like, and not that I use this app, it is almost like Snapchat. In the moment when you got that message, that people meant what they say, but it's going to disintegrate very, very fast, and you need to keep that constantly topped up. Because it is almost like it's ready to just drop off a cliff if you don't obtain that. It's almost like you need to get running at a certain speed on a treadmill, and if you fall off, the treadmill's not going to slow down, but you're going to fall off the treadmill. That is what people's respect for you is like. You constantly have to be renewing that card. If you don't renew that card, if people think you're a pussy, you fucked it. Unless you can absolutely shoot back on to show them that you're not. This goes for women especially. This goes for your friends. This goes for your workers. This goes for general people that know you. If you don't act like the warrior that you're supposed to, people will very soon think that you are a pussy. And people are constantly checking to see if you still are that person, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, anyone here ever had a girlfriend? Anyone here ever like dated a woman consistently? They just test you. They say things to test you, to see how you react, to see if your frame is still made of the timber that you portrayed it in the beginning. And if you showcase that it is crumbling, they'll pull more and more and more and more until you're fucking left with nothing but your foundations. It is like that across all human beings. That's just the way it is. Because we are constantly seeing, is that person the strongest person that we want to be around, be led by, hang around with, bring into our circle? Because let's be honest, right? You want to be around the best quality people for you. Whether that's like a partner, whether that's friends, whether that's work colleagues. You want to be around people that are going to elevate your life. Of course you are. Like it sounds obvious when I say it, but you don't want to be around someone that's going to bring your life down. Why the fuck would you? Like, you wouldn't, would you? So people are always testing to see if you are the person that you say you are. So you must have the awareness to make sure you are constantly keeping that treadmill on the upward trajectory speed, and you are becoming the person that can always be at that. And it's not comfortable. You'll go through periods in your life where you will fall off this, but you have to check yourself. Oh, fuck, that's not who I am. I don't fucking break frame like that. That's not who I am. I don't miss meals. I don't skip gym sessions. I don't stay up like really late fucking about doing shit. That's not who I am. And you have to check yourself and realign yourself back into your daily schedule and your habits. So your habits are so deeply rooted that they keep you on top. So obviously in this situation, that didn't happen. So then we must have the self-awareness that we have fucked up and we need to fix this. Now, what do you do instantly? You do a hard fucking reset. A hard reset. Where it's like, right, I fucked up. This is a problem. Right, wipe all the slates clean. Straight away, you're going to clean your house, so your space that you're in is clear. You're going to go through your phone, and this sounds retarded, but it's not. You're going to go through your phone, and you're going to clear like loads of old shit. Like, degunge your phone, degunge your house, get all the shit out the fridge, like, re-look at your schedule, cut all the shit out of that. Because what's happened is, and we'll zoom out here, what's happened is, this box resembles your brain. And let's say your overall mission, which is comprised of like your physical capabilities, your intellectual capabilities, your emotional capabilities, and your spiritual capabilities, this is resembled by this one flower. Okay, this is you, and you need to keep the flower growing and make it nice and all this sort of stuff. It's an ugly flower. Shut the fuck up. And then this here is your brain. Okay, but your brain, we can also look at this as like a garden. Let's say this is your brain. And inside your brain is a garden that needs to be kept spanking clean. And for you to be able to see and focus on the mission, which is keeping this flower looking fucking jacked and cool, what you don't want to do is allow weeds to grow in your garden. And they start off like this. They start off with one missed meal. They start off with a few biscuits. They start off with a late night. They start off with some little bit of fucking porn because you've been lonely for a few weeks. It starts off with a bit of masturbation. It starts off with some bullshit. But before you know it, These things, if you don't kill the weeds with that fertilizer really, really fast, if you don't quickly come and you get rid of these motherfucking weeds, you should always be trying to stomp out weeds in your own life because they're always trying to come. And sometimes they're not like loser, degenerate weeds. They're like, want to go on this holiday? This girl wants you to fuck her without a condom, and they're bigger, but she's an 8 out of 10, and she's like quite nice. It's the holiday to this place that you don't really want to go on, but you're like, fuck it, let's just go. It's the night out that you probably should have avoided. And I'm not saying don't be social, I'm just saying like weigh things up. What I'm saying now is the weeds are a little bit more attractive. But what you need to continuously do is stomp out the weeds, because this is what it looks like if you don't stomp out the weeds. You let the weeds grow, this is how your garden's going to look. Now, because this is how your garden looks like, and because your brain is now full of weeds, you can't see, remember, or even like put your hands on the mission, the goal, and what you're trying to become, because you just can't think that straight. There's too much going on in your brain. You've got some random bullshit problem here. You've got some holiday you need to go on here. You've got some drink here that you want to get back on plan, but then you've got this stupid event coming up, and before you know it, you can't get yourself to the goal, and you feel like you can't get anywhere near it. And that's how a rut is created. A rut is created because your brain is full of weeds. You don't have clarity on who you are, where you're going, and how you're going to get towards the goal. So it's very, very important that you are constantly de-weeding your brain, valuing your clarity, sense of certainty, and that will keep you on the mission. My mission is 50 fucking transformations by the end of the year. We're on 24. It's the 23rd of September. Game on. But what's going to happen? I'll probably get, as progress continues, I'll probably get other things that crop up, other distractions that will get in the way of my one goal, my one mission. And before you know it, the weeds can sometimes even become the goal, and you forget, and it wasn't supposed to be this, and you veer off track. This is what you need to do instantly. You need to de-weed your brain so it is clear and you remember who you were. So the reason I say get rid of all distractions out your phone is because the phone is like a powerful thing that will turn your brain into a vegetable, and it will take away your focus and clarity. Your like house being a mess will also do that. If you've not had a fresh haircut, go and get a fucking fresh haircut. And then what you need to do is restructure out your timetable. At this time, I will do this. At this time, I will do this. And this is going to go hand in hand with the next slide, which is the setup. So this is now specific to him, and we're going to talk like tactics of how to get to the result. So what you need to do is obviously go weigh yourself in, understand your body fat percentage, or to be honest, like I've got a set way of the way I like set people up. Of course I do, that gets the results in the way we do. You can just go online, find a calorie calculator and put your data in, and it will spit you out a target to begin with. Now, most people, if you're in this position, you need to lose body fat, right? And we know that because you're 32% body fat, or you're in and around. So you need to lose body fat, okay? So find that start amount, and then you need to go into a deficit. Don't go so drastic in the beginning, like 500 calories, unless you're like, your maintenance is 2,000, then honestly just go in at like 200 calories less. And with that, it's just a start point though. Remember this is just a start point. So you're starting weight, starting body fat, starting food you're going to be on. You're going to start with 10k steps and no formal cardio. You're going to train whatever you can do. If you can train 3 times a week, you're going to do a 3-day full body split. If you can train 4 times, you're going to do full body push, full body pull, and repeat that times 2. If you can train 5 times, you're going to do push, pull, legs, rest day, chest and back, delts and arms. That's what you're going to do if you want to build a physique that looks like these, all right? That's exactly what you're going to do. If you want to know the ins and outs, I've done videos on it that you can go in and you can copy the workout routine, no problem. You're going to run this 5-day training split, okay? Now, at this point, you've got your setup, you're going to run the data for a week. Make sure, do not miss on this, you are going to record all of your data, okay? So you're going to record your scale weight for 7 days. You're going to record the food you ate for 7 days. You're going to record the sleep you had for 7 days. You're going to record the steps you did for 7 days, cardio when it comes in, and also the workouts so you can progress. You're going to track that data across the week. At the end of the week, you're going to take photos, and then you're going to understand, did I make progress? No. Why not? I followed everything to the T. Why didn't I make progress? Because the output is too high. The input is too high, the output's too low. Cool. Take away 200 calories through carbohydrates or through fats. Rinse and repeat. And that's how you are going to personally make progress. What this looked like for him was, we started, so this is 19 weeks, we started week 1, made progress, perfect, no changes. Week 2, slowed down, minimal progress, we removed 145 calories. Week 3, didn't need to make changes. Week 4, didn't need to make changes. Week 5, we did. We removed food. Now, as a disclaimer, I normally push higher outputs before pulling from food. But in this example, this guy is a busy father. He runs a busy job in the army. He was moving country. He's a husband. His children are athletes, so he takes them to like whatever the discipline is they're doing for that evening. So he's a busy guy. He did not always have the time to do daily cardio until we really had to play that card. So this is why I removed from food. Both can work. It just depends on your life and your structure. Week 6, no changes. Week 7, remove some food. Week 8, no changes. Finally, at week 9, we deployed our first bit of cardio, 20 minutes daily. But if you're training 4 or 5 times a week, you can bolster those together. And that way you will not need to like make sure you go to the gym every day. It's more, right, 60 minutes is getting done today, 60 minutes is getting done here. Perfect. Then no changes. Then we remove some food. And again, I just listened to his body every time. Like, what was the progress across the week? Slowed down a bit, right, pull the lever. What was the progress across the week? We dropped the kilo. Perfect, no changes needed. And then I would just keep adapting. Now, what's a good tool we used was he was able to, from this period here, he changed country, and just the way the life setup worked, he was able to get a good amount of steps in. So we pushed that. And when you're a heavier person, steps are a secret weapon for you, where like you will burn more calories because you are a heavier person, and it comes at a lower cost of fatigue. It just comes at more of a cost of time. But what do steps do? They give you the time to think. They give you the time to like process shit in your brain. I tell you now, people go, oh, I'm stressed. Motherfucker, do not turn to alcohol. That is not going to square you away. Go for a walk. Going for a walk is literally like turning your brain into one of those machines where you twist it and the paper comes out the top. That's what you're doing with your brain. You're basically like, your brain's full of thoughts, weeds, and if you walk, it's just going to like start to flush them out. Out they come, out your fucking mouth more than likely when you start to talk to yourself and you speak. It's just going to continuously do that, reset your brain. That's why I say do 10,000 steps each day. You will not be stressed because you've walked out in sunlight, as human beings should do. So we did that, then no changes were needed, and then towards the back end we got more aggressive. 90 calories removed, 30 minutes cardio. So you see, he's only doing 30 minutes cardio for the last 4 weeks. Calories removed at 100, 15k steps, I don't know why I put that in there twice, and no changes were needed on the last week. So this was the process and the way it worked. Let's blow this back up. So from here, start 103. I just thought I'd do a couple of like transitionary photos. So 93, this is what it looked like. And in many ways, when you start to drop off, you can in some ways look softer and fatter because the inflammation is gone. This is like inflamed hard. The skin is pushing, the adipose tissue is pushing hard against the skin. When it drops off a bit, in some ways you can look a little bit more softer. So that's just something to remember. Don't think it's not working. That's why in the beginning, you're only really going to look at the scale weight because you're not going to look too much different. Like there's 10 kilo difference between those two shots, but realistically, it doesn't look that much different. And that's okay. But I wanted to make that point. That's part of the reason I put these photos on, is because you will get discouraged if you don't see like visual change when you've dropped 10 kilos. You're like, what the fuck? And you probably think you're losing muscle. It's not that. It's just like going from 30% down to like 25%, you're not going to see that much change. Of course you're not. And in the beginning, you drop water weight, you drop glycogen, you removed inflammation. It doesn't look that good. However, at that point, then we went 93 down to 87. This looks night and day difference now. This is starting to pay us back really, really well. So the reason I make this point is you essentially need to like push through and know that you're going to get the results soon enough. It's like me with YouTube. I don't know when this channel's going to take off. I've had a lot of nice comments and stuff. Will it ever take off? I don't know. So I'm almost just playing in the dark. I'm going to play this game forever because I like it. But like, if I was playing the YouTube game hoping it blew up, I would still have to take the same approach where like I'm just going to continue to deliver every day and eventually it will take off. In many ways, you have to look at this with your physique. You have to be okay with going 10 weeks, dropping 10 kilos and still not looking amazing. But knowing that as soon as you push through another 6, you're going to start to look significantly better. And then when you go from 87 down to 83, again, significantly better. Because as you get leaner and those kilos come off, it means more at the business end. It doesn't mean as much when you go from here to here. Now, for context, these photos are taken in the gym with a pump. Make sure you understand that, okay? Like, obviously that's what we're going to do. 'Cause I want to put him in the best light forward to finish. And if you don't really agree with like before and afters where it's like flat and pumped, I don't really give a fuck. Because I'm going to show you this is the best you could look and this is the worst you could look, and that's the transitionary period. So I just wanted to show this and show the transition of what it looks like, and then also how we achieve this. These are the tactics. These are the tactics. The tactic is exactly as I've said. Work out your start point, run that for a week, listen to your body, pull the lever of either removing from food or increasing from output, either steps or cardio. And when I say cardio, keep it non-impact. Why? Because it wants to be something that you can do daily, or the reason you could do it daily is because it doesn't accumulate fatigue. So because of that, you could continuously do it. So we want to do that. Now, can you go for a run? Yeah, go for it once a week. But if you're running every day, you're going to impact your sessions. I keep heart rate 120 to 130, just so we're not like sky high burning loads of fucking carbohydrates. It's at that lower fat burning zone. So that's the way I'm running through cardio, or you've got through steps. So that's what we did to adapt the plan. These are the tactics. Pull the lever and just listen to your body and keep adapting until you get down towards the goal. Now, we had challenges to overcome. So, busy career. Now, with a busy career comes with you need to be more on it. And the beautiful thing about getting in shape is it kind of goes hand in hand with it goes hand in hand with getting in shape. So let's remove these fucking drawings. Okay. So if you've got a busy career and you also want to get in shape, guess what you're going to need to do? You're going to need to plan your day. And this kind of goes back to auditing your life and getting rid of all the bullshit. You need to, if you want to get in good shape, you need to take this hard approach of like a military style routine where you know what time you're going to get up. You know what time you're going to do your steps. You know what time you're doing work. You know what time you're going to train. You know what time you're going to eat your meals. You know what time you're going to cook your meals. You know what time you're going to bed. And it's all laid out in your timetable. Because if you don't do this and you try and live on the fly, you will miss things out. I know because I've done both, and I can tell you that this works. So with work, we needed to make sure we balanced his busy career by having everything structured out. He also had a full family to run. As I said, his daughters are athletes. They play boxing, football, etc. He has to take them to stuff on the evening, so he has to factor that in. He had to move from one country to the next, and then with that, we ended up having like no scale. So we had to revert to using hand portions or scoop sizes of certain foods. But all that stuff can be managed. All that stuff is not really that big of an issue. What is the issue is old vices, because old vices will always look to creep in. So how do we get rid of your old vices is one of the most important things I'll give you in this video. We must understand that you are where you are in life right now because of your own doing and because of the habits that you've made up. If this is the old you, and this basket resembles the new you, there is too many habits in the basket of the old version of you. And because of this, it is swayed in the balance of the old you. You may have one habit in the version of the new you. You have stacked rocks in this basket here. The rocks denote the habits, and you have minimal rocks in this basket here. So of course, when you try and get towards the goal, it's going to feel like a second job. Anyone ever felt that like trying to get in shape feels like a secondary job? It's because you've got too many bad habits, and it means it feels like you're swimming upstream, like there's constant resistance for you to make progress. Yet you see these guys on Instagram that are always posting about their life and their fitness, they're in fucking great shape, and they make it look effortless. It's because their habits are aligned with this. Your habits are aligned with doing like loser shit and succumbing to vices. And succumbing to vices are really there because there is a void in somewhere, for whatever reason, there's a void in some part of your life. So you must understand that doing the vice will never scratch the itch of the void in your life. The void in your life is because of the thing you're avoiding. And as soon as you address that, and address the thing that you're avoiding, and do the thing, I guarantee you the vice falls flat on its face and you remove it. So what we need to do is change how you see yourself. And this is the biggest thing here. How you see yourself will reflect how your habits act. Because you, inside your own brain, understand, I am this person, I stand for this, I look like this, my values are this, my habits will then be congruent with that to confirm my identity. It's like when you know you want a certain answer for something, you'll go looking and you'll manipulate it to read the answer you want, even if it's not the right answer to the thing you're in question. So with that, we need to understand that, well, if we're going to make any progress with you, we must change how you view yourself. We must change that. If you constantly think you're this loser guy that watches porn and eats bullshit food, or that like you used to be a killer but you fell off and you can't get back to it because like for whatever limiting belief you come up with your head, you'll confirm that and you will stay in this perpetual cycle of mediocrity bullshit. And it's a real sad shame to see. And do you know why I know this? Because I see the potential in all of you boys. I know you all have potential. We all start out like this. Some of us start out in worse condition than others. We all start out like this. And we could look like fucking killers. But your own brain is the only reason why you're not where you want to be in life. So what we actually have to do is, we must understand that everyone is always challenging our respect and our frame. We firstly have to make sure that we're arming ourselves, that our frame is rock fucking solid and it's not going to be shaken. So to do so, you have to have that wake up period where you're like, right, enough is enough. I don't even respect myself anymore. So how the fuck can people respect me? From the off, we need to get a quick win in the bag. And the quickest win is you scheduling out what you need to do tomorrow the night before, because then at least you can tick that off in your notes page on your phone and confirm, right, I can do this. I could do 1 day of discipline. Here we go. And then what we need to do is remove the bad habits. It's so much easier to do less than it is to start doing more. Your quickest bet is to audit what bad habits you are doing in your life, understand that why they make you a loser, and understand that like you are conscious of these bad habits. So the fact that you're conscious of them and still do them, you're basically accepting the fact that I'm okay with being a bit of a loser and I'm going to continue doing this thing because I just feel like I haven't got the mental strength. But you saying you think you don't have the mental strength is bullshit. Like, if you think you don't have the mental strength, it means, no, I know I could have, I'm choosing not to do it. So the quickest way to summarize all this, you must understand you are not somebody that's trying to get in shape or get back in shape. You must understand you are a fucking athlete and you must live and breathe every fiber of your being that you are an athlete, even if you're not. The reason why I get results like this is because I tell people in every check-in video, you are an athlete, we are going to get you to the goal, this is how we're going to do it, you are an athlete, do you understand? Yes, you are an athlete, good. And every week I re-bang the drum that they are an athlete. And every time they've made progress, I show, look, here's the transition of you to becoming that athlete. But if you do not have me in your corner, you better bet you've fucking done the affirmation. So it's like, I am a fucking athlete. I am a top fucking geezer. People like me for this reason. I am going to be in killer shape. I am going to be a killer. People want to come and rock my frame. My armor is solid, and therefore I'm not going to be rocked. You have to live and breathe it like that, because when you do, guess what happens? Your brain will try to confirm that identity. And that's powerful, remember, because if your brain is trying to confirm that identity, it will make you do things to confirm that identity. So if you're telling your brain, look, I am a fucking athlete, this is my identity, and you can also anchor it with why you believe you are. Like for me, I could say, I am going to be in the best shape of my life. I am a fucking athlete because I used to be a physical training instructor for the paras. The fittest unit in the army, I used to train them. So I am a fucking athlete. So if I want to get jacked in great shape and have to follow a strict, rigid diet and eat 5,000 calories every day for 9 months, I can do this because I am an athlete. And then my brain and my actions will reaffirm that because that's my identity. That's, oh, Tom Zergi, he's an athlete and he lives like this. And I have to think that that's what people think of me. And then because of that accountability, my habits perform suit. And the beautiful thing is when your habits are stacked in the right direction, in here, in here, in here, in here, and you have minimal or one bad habit in here, the balance swings in the other way. And because the balance swings in the other way, guess what then happens? It doesn't feel like a second job because it's who you are. So it feels like you're now swimming downstream towards the goal. And guess what? Because you are getting leaner every week and in better shape, then actually that reaffirms it even more. And you're getting that weekly feedback at this point here. Once you've gone from here to here, you're getting weekly feedback that you are an athlete. And before you know it, you literally are like an athlete. You've got the physique to confirm it. You've got the mindset, most importantly, to confirm it. And then you get the end result. And this is what we did here for this guy, to remove old vices and to put new ones in there of his athlete behavior. So he doesn't reach for biscuits. He gets up at 5 a.m. and goes and does 6,000 steps before he even starts work. That's what an athlete would do that was running a busy family, busy career, where evenings are tight and he's got to take his family around. And then as a result, this is the end result. This is what's capable. This is the difference between 32% and 10% body fat. Look at that fucking back, boys. Look at that back. Look at rear delts. Yeah, you could rock climb up this, right? And up the midsection. So why I say this is, it doesn't matter if you used to be in shape. It doesn't matter if you've never been in shape. This is out there. This happens. This shit is like doable for every human being with a flesh body. And this is the beautiful thing about getting in shape. There's not like a scarce amount of it. Like, there's only so much like currency in the world, right? But this is your flesh body, and just because I'm in shape, he's in shape, doesn't mean you can't be either. If anything, it should be more, no, because so many people are, I can too, because of like, well, you've seen it modeled that many times. Like, I've told you, do this and you will get in shape. Change your mindset and you will get in shape. So you must understand, it's not finite. Everyone has their birthright to get in shape. This is just a human body with a certain formula, and do the formula and spits out the physique at the end. So I hope you found this useful. What we wanted to do was understand how to go from 32 to 10% body fat. We did so with the tactics, first and foremost, of the setup, which you're going to do for yourself. We keep ourselves on track and on plan through the changes of the tactics of input and output, and obviously the training split, training hard, progressive overload. But then we also make sure that, because this is simple, like if I just said follow this and you'll get the result, right? But that's not good enough. Otherwise, everyone will be in fucking shape. The tactics don't work because they're not underpinned by the principles. However, we've addressed the principles. We've understood that your brain is full of weeds. We know what to do instantly in order to get to the goal. And then we must understand how to keep it on track over the longest period of time and to fix our vices like this we've drawn here. So thank you for watching. If you found it useful, subscribe. If you want to work with me, great, book a call, and I'll see you tomorrow.